team behind Scary Talk Ticker had investigated enough locations to know how to read a space. They'd walked through places with genuine histories and come out with compelling footage. And they walked through places that turned out to be nothing. They knew the difference between atmosphere and actual activity. So when they entered this particular abandoned house, one connected to a violent past and immediately described the air inside as heavy. They were inside one of the rooms, cameras running, when something on the floor began to move.
Oricare spirit te află aici, oricare entitate, oricare demon, oricare suflet neliniștit, oricare strigoi, prin puterea primordială prin care am fost investit, îți ordon să miști pina aia. Marș de aici! Bă, mea! Râmea aia, băi, frate! Marș de aici, că nu cred așa ceva. Holy Jesus Christ! Stit, îți ordon să miști pina aia. Bă, marș de aici! Bă, mea! Vă arăt pina asta? Că nu-i legată cu nimic? Hă? Of, Doamne. Vă arăt pina asta? Hă? Știi cum adă încoace? Iau răstoană, învârte, tot. Uite, Dumnezeu, uite. Vă arăt pina asta care nu-i legată cu nimic? Uite picioare în ea, măi. Hă? Dacă răbușa nu e abonată de asta.
Dar oricum poți să filmezi, stai seama.
Vă arăt, mă, puterea asta primordială?
A doll, lying where it had been left, shifted on its own. Nothing around it, no airflow, no contact. When they moved into another room, they found two framed photographs on a surface.
Care spirit te afla, oricare entitate, oricare demon, oricare strigoi, prin puterea primordială prin care am fost investit de către patriarh, îți ordon să miști.
Mișcă.
Mișcă poza aia sau dă-o jos, fă ceva. Mași de aici! Aoleu!
Maica Domnule.
Uitați pozele, uitați poșetele, uitați poza, că nu e legată cu nimic. Da? Uitați. Uitați pozele, uitați. Da? Da, Doamne.
And then those began to move as well, independently, the same way the doll had, as though whatever was responding to their presence had simply followed them from one room to the next. What they witnessed after that, in the final moments of their time inside that house, is the part that changed the tone of the entire investigation.
Prin puterea prin care am fost investit, să rup perdeaua aia. Trage-o cât are.
Băi, Ali, băi. Doamne, Maica,
Some things are better seen than described. So whatever conclusion you draw about what was present in that building, the footage is there to reach it from. A lady named Marie and her friend had been using one of those random location apps late at night, the kind that sends you somewhere completely unknown and lets curiosity do the rest. The coordinates landed them on the edge of town in a stretch of open darkness that felt off the moment they arrived. They were recording before they even got out of the car. This is what was waiting for them.
Why did we just go to this f***ing quantum points and this whole f***ing person is Sky? Oh my God. I can't. What if the person shows up in my rear view camera? No, I can't.
A man stood perfectly still in the distance, facing directly toward them, not moving, just watching. And as they scanned the area around him, they realized there were others, shadowy figures closing in from multiple directions. They left immediately. Whatever those people wanted, Marie and her friend never stayed long enough to find out. An explorer set out to investigate an old abandoned asylum in Norwich, Connecticut, a place carrying decades' worth of dark rumors. He walked every hallway, alone, filmed everything, and came home having experienced nothing during the visit itself. He figured that was the end of wasn't. Within days, his house became somewhere he no longer recognized. Unnerved and running out of rational explanations, he raised his camera and spoke directly into the silence, telling whatever might be present to knock once if it could hear him.
Knock if you hear me. Knock if you hear me. Knock if you hear me.
The knock came immediately. What followed was rapid and relentless.
Hello? Is anyone there? What the fuck? What the fuck? Who is out? Oh my god. Oh my goodness, what the fuck? Hello? Who is there? Oh my goodness, please stop. What the fuck? Please stop. Please stop. This is my house. Leave. Leave. This is my house. You're not allowed here. Leave. Oh my goodness. Hello. Oh my goodness.
Banging voices, shadows moving through rooms that should have been empty. Then one afternoon, sounds drew him toward the kitchen, and when the camera came up,
What the fuck?
a dark figure was peering around the corner before sliding back out of sight. The worst was still coming. That night, a pale and featureless face slowly emerged from the darkness, pushing towards him, closing the distance. He fell back and ran. He hasn't returned to that house since, and no update has ever been posted. Whatever was waiting inside that asylum, he didn't leave it there. A tattoo studio. Cameras running, artists working, clients waiting. The ordinary atmosphere of a busy shop in the middle of a regular day. Nothing about the environment suggested anything was wrong. And then, Without any preceding sound or movement, several objects launched themselves off a bookshelf simultaneously. Nobody was near it. Nobody had brushed against it or created any vibration that could account for what happened. The objects didn't slide. They came off the shelf with force, as though something had swept them forward deliberately. One of them struck a man who was sitting nearby waiting for his appointment. He flinched, looked up, processed what had just happened, and then, almost inexplicably, laughed it off. Calm almost immediately while everyone around him was still frozen. That reaction is what people kept coming back to in the comments. Not the shelf, not the objects. Him. The way he returned to normal so quickly. The following video was recorded by a man named Wade, who was home alone one evening with his young child and his dog, when something in the living room made him stop and stare. Watch.
Just record the whole thing. Yeah, here we go. Let's go potty days. Nope. Nope. Go to the room. Go. Daisy. Go, 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 go.
A chair sitting in the corner had begun to move, slowly, sliding on its own. He immediately checked for drafts. Every window shut, every door closed. No explanation. Sleep was difficult that night, and in the early hours he was pulled out of it by a scratching sound just outside the bedroom door. His stomach dropped the moment he realized his dog was right there beside him on the bed. He turned on the camera and opened the door. Anyway, this is what happened next.
Daisy, no, 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 no. Shit. You okay? Come on. Daisy, come on. Come on, 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 come on. Daisy, get in the car.
The house was silent, but the feeling in that silence was unbearable. Wade didn't investigate further. He grabbed his child, grabbed the dog, and left. Whatever had been inside that house that night, he still doesn't know what it was. Jay had lived in her house for 3 years before she found the room tucked inside the attic. Accessible only by ladder and barely large enough to stand in. It was the kind of space that feels immediately wrong the moment you enter it. She had only been inside once before posting a video about it online. That video is what started everything. Viewers who watched the clip began pointing out something specific about the room's design and dimensions, something that aligned with accounts of so-called disappointment. Rooms. Hidden spaces reportedly built into certain 19th century American homes to keep family members out of sight. People who were sick or disabled or considered an embarrassment. Jay went back in to look more carefully. What she found raised more questions than it resolved.
I have this little room up in my attic and I want to show you guys what I found in here, but first look at this. I've been up here 2 times. I've lived in this house for 3 years and I've been here. This will be my 2nd time, and I started doing some picking up, but that's my house down there. And this is, so if you close the door, look how tiny it is, but look at the doorknob. It's literally a foot away from the ground. Look at that. Isn't that weird? Okay, so anyways, let me just open that up real quick. I found this little guy up here. He has like a little thing to put batteries, which I'm going to try and see if it works. That'll be so cool, but it's so old and dusty. And I found him back here in this hole. I covered it back up because it's a little scary, but it's full of things. Oh, what was that?
Old objects left behind by whoever had been there last. Loose wiring that ran deeper into the wall than it had any obvious reason to, and a hole that seemed to lead somewhere, without leading anywhere she could identify or follow. When she leaned in to get a better look, something shifted in the quality of the silence around her. The way she described it afterward was simple. It felt like whatever was on the other side of that wall already knew she was there.
Guys, real quick, this is the hole that leads up to the attic, that leads to the room that goes this way. So once you go up to the attic, the door is right here, and then the big room is here. And I don't have a drop down, so I've been using this 6-foot ladder to go up there, and I have to climb my way up the last half because I don't have a long enough ladder. But the intention was to go up there to put these things and use that as a closet upstairs. But anywho, let me show you that there's no holes on the ceilings real quick. So that's one. This is a room, and there's no holes up there, just this big hole that leads up to the attic. And then the living room, there's no holes. Okay, there's a room, there's a hole there, but that's a vent. So I mean, it's you can't really see what was seen on the previous video. Plus I was by myself, there was nobody in here, there was nobody walking around. This is the closet, and then there's one more. Let me show you guys. This is another room. Again, no holes in the ceilings. Another vent, but no like visible holes that you could see through. And then the closet, no holes. But there is a weird little door again. I don't know what's up with the weird little doors. That one's sealed. You can't open it. It's sealed. Let's go upstairs. We're up here already, and I got to the room, and I want to show you guys. I cleaned up a little bit, but to answer some of your questions, someone asked, what does this window lead to right next to the door? And I don't know. It's sealed, and there's like, yeah, it's just covered with siding. And then how did the furniture get up here? I'm assuming somebody built this up here. However, I don't know how this chair got up here. It's pretty big. I'm assuming right before they built the room, maybe they put it up here. I don't know. And then for the hole, there, as you can see, there's electricity. Oh, something else. These cables, these were all plugged in, and they go this way. Let me grab this light so I can show you guys. But let me go here. 1 second, because oh god. So the wires go all the way in here, and they're connected to something. There's more trash on this side of the house. See? Oh shit, there's a big ass. Okay, so that's that side, right? The left side. But the right side, let's go take a look at the right side real quick. It's so hot in here. Oh boy. Okay, so there's no mirrors. I know you guys were saying, oh, there's a mirror. There's no mirror, no holes. Just trash.
Jay is certain of one thing above everything else she found up there. That room was not built to be discovered. And whatever was left inside, it was not left there by accident. A woman named Emery had just gotten the devastating news. Her father's dog, a companion he had loved for years, was gone. Unable to let go of the happier times, she found herself scrolling through old recordings she had captured during visits to his home. In one video, she was lying in bed, completely relaxed, when the dog suddenly snapped to attention, staring hard at something across the room that simply wasn't there. It began barking furiously at a shelf lined with family photos and sentimental objects. Nobody was near it. Watch. The memorial display on that shelf shifted on its own, and as the dog continued barking at that exact spot, it was suddenly thrown sideways, as if something invisible had physically shoved it. This house had a long history of things that couldn't be explained. After watching this, it's easy to understand why. If you made it through to the end of the video, drop your thoughts in the comment and tell me which one got you on the edge of your seat. Don't forget to like, share, and turn on the notifications bell so you don't miss any upcoming uploads. And if you haven't subscribed yet, now's the time. Thanks for watching, and see you on my next video.